Hare Krishna, welcome back to my channel. I am Radhika Piyari Devidasi, and today I want to have a very heart to heart conversation with all of you, especially my subscribers. So, recently I had asked a question on the community poll whether I should be making more videos also on how to practically implement the theories or the philosophy which we read of Krishna consciousness, or how to practically implement our spiritual practices in our day to day life. So I got a very good response on that, even on the channel and on my other social sites. So I decided to actually start sharing it. Now, this conversation, which I'm going to have with all of you, it's going to be very much spoken in like Guhyam, like it's going to be in very much in confidence. It's very going to be in, very much into like a personal conversation, and it will be more based on my own experiences and realization I go through based on my practices of spiritual life. And it is natural for any spiritual practitioner that when they practice spirituality, when they follow the principles of spirituality, challenges come in their way. They interact with others who are also trying to follow or trying to imbibe the spiritual qualities in them. So the if someone is like from the Krishna consciousness path, or if someone is from like from ISKCON or from Sri Vaishnav Sampradaya or any other kind of Sampradaya, but following a spiritual group or Krishna conscious or God conscious path, they all have to go through these kind of challenges. Every spiritual community or every institutional community, many of them go through that. Actually, it's very kind of sad that many times these things are not addressed, and people feel shy or embarrassed to actually talk about such things because they feel that they can be judged. And this is the reason why. Most of them, they feel that it is not, it's kind of an offense to bring about these kind of things, but no, this is actually a nature of our human nature, which, because we are practicing as being pure souls, we are still living in this body and actually practicing our spiritual life being in this body. So a lot of baggage of past karmas and activities and conditionings come forth along with that, and it becomes kind of difficult to accept like very pure things in our life right away. I mean, not everyone is can be on that elevated platform, and many start from a very like slow pace and then gradually go up. So this is the reason why I thought that why not to talk about such things, and I will be sharing with you all my own personal experiences and the realizations I had, and I will talk about the scenarios I faced, and then we will end the entire thing. So today's topic, what I wanted to address, is about being conscious. It's something every person who is trying to practice spirituality in whatever degree, either it's Krishna consciousness or some other path of God consciousness, main thing is about consciousness. It's about being very much conscious about how and what we are practicing, and then how that practice is actually affecting ourselves. So we are reading so much philosophy. Like if I talk about the path of bhakti yoga, because that's the path which I have chosen for myself, and that's the path of one of the Vaishnava sects, so Krishna consciousness or belonging to ISKCON. So the path of bhakti yoga, in that we have a lot of Shuddha Sattva scriptural text, and we read about so many like philosophy about the body, the soul, the reality, the duality of this world, we read about interactions between devotees, interaction between demonic tendencies and Daivic tendencies, or devotee tendencies, then interaction about based on circumstances, situations, and all that. Now, how do we implement those kind of things in the life which we are right now carrying as Kali Yuga, the people born in the Kali Yuga? So the situations at that times were a little different, and now we are facing little different situations. So, is it always about following things in a ritualistic manner? Is it always about just reading and just being very much philosophical or fundamental about things, or what is the learning we learn through this? So, in my experience of all these years of Krishna consciousness, I have known one thing is that path of Bhakti Yoga is very much interconnected with relationships, and the relationship not just with Krishna, not just with the Supreme Personality of God, Krishna or Vishnu, you call him, but it is actually connected with one living entity, like one soul to another, and then it connects with Krishna, because it's not easy to survive in the path of Bhakti Yoga completely without any appreciation for other individuals. There are some people, you may have we know about many saints in the path of Bhakti Yoga who live alone, like we may say them see them alone, but there is a sense of appreciation they have for the other living entities and for Krishna both. So, is it like for common people like us? Is it always just about uh, hearing about pastimes, or is it only about like the philosophy? How do we use these things in our personal life? So, my experience has been that we have to be very, very conscious. Like when we practice spirituality, when we practice bhakti yoga, the reason why we chant, the reason why we read, the reason why we hear such things is so that there is a transformation of our heart. Transformation in the sense softness of our heart. Not like that superficial softness, but the softness which develops certain tendencies in us, which makes us realize to see things with a clear, transparent picture, at the same time, accept our human tendencies and also be forgiving of others, not in a way that okay, I forgive you and then you can just do anything to me. No, we can forgive the person and still be detached from again connecting with the person who has caused us harm. So this thing about being conscious in terms of relationship is so much important when we interact with one another, is because I've noticed that when there are two kinds of people actually. There are people who go through two kinds of miseries, and that miseries are, one is of course the karmic, the prarabdha, whatever purification we have to go, especially when we come to spiritual life. But the other kind of misery is where we get that misery because we implicate intentionally those miseries on other people, or we are not too much conscious and we are doing those things on other people. The reason why we practice God consciousness, Krishna consciousness, deal these things with the devotees is that so that we can remind and inspire each other of Krishna. We can remind each other and have uh, appreciation for God. Any person whom we connect with, if that person actually reminds us positively about Krishna or about the path of practicing devotional life, then that person is actually a sadhu, because sadhu means saintly person. It's not just many times superficially many have a lot of appreciation or awe and reverence for someone on a position, having some sadhu or not sadhu, sorry, some sannyasi or some brahmachari or some senior, which is good, which is not like kind of bad, but at the same time, how do we deal with those who are kind of we feel are inferior than us, or inferior in the sense like we think that they're inferior than us, or for our same kind of setup, or are new to this process of Krishna consciousness? How do we really are we really respectful to those people also? That's actually very, very, very important. This feeling of entitlement after coming to a spiritual sect becomes so strong in many people that it just hits a person so bad that they think that it is okay to act in certain way just because I'm a devotee and I have been doing this for so many years, so I have the right to actually say or do like this. So that kind of entitlement is something which is a complete no in front of Krishna, because Krishna doesn't like that. Now, when we are talking to someone, many people, you might have noticed, are introverts. Many people are very much extrovert. So there are two kinds of people who will not talk to the other individuals. One of them are who are burned by the experiences, a lot of experiences which they have gone through. This sense of entitlement brings so much impersonalism in an individual that they don't even recognize that how they are actually interacting with the other individual. So it's very important to be conscious at every step of our practices, that okay, I am doing this thing and how it is affecting. Of course there are times when we may lose our cool, or things happen in a certain way, but being conscious that okay, fine, I lost my cool or I acted in certain way is very important. And also, you can follow humility only when you see the group with whom you are actually interacting is actually reciprocating with that. So that is why the relationship between devotees have to be so much reciprocal. It cannot go only one sided. And it is not about what happens is that when we are not practicing spirituality with complete sincerity, we are not properly chanting, we are not properly reading and not trying to transform our heart, then what happens is that all these problems set up. Now, how to be, like, conscious in such situation is asking ourselves, like, for me personally, what I do is every day when I sit down and I, about myself, if I have to talk, I am a very sensitive person, and I do not see any harm in being sensitive, because being sensitive is means that you are more conscious about how you interact with others, and also about how others interact with you. It gives a lot of learning. When I go through some bad experiences in my life, and especially, the enemies won't hurt you that much, it's only those people whom you know, those people will hurt you the most. So when I go through bad experiences, of course it hurts, but at the same time I always try to see what learning I have got from this, and how I don't have to be like those people, and then also to set my boundaries. That is very much important. Now, today, what I wanted to give the example was about my own personal experiences and about how I noticed how some individuals can be very unconscious about situations, about the feeling of entitlement, and then I will give you one of the example from my side about how I did something wrong, and then I realized and I made an approach to apologize. So the first thing which I will talk about is it's in the spiritual community where I belong, the temple where I go to. So just a very, this actually incident would find, you will find it very small. It's kind of not, it's kind of negligible to even like consider, but I try to always see learning through this. I always try to recognize that what learning I've got, how I don't have to be, and also to recognize how the person with whom I'm interacting is can be so unconscious. So what happened was, it was an event like a regular Sunday feast, and my mother have issues with her knees. She has knees issues, and I was also taking care of one granny, and she also, when old people, they cannot sit on the floor. So my mother is like in her mid 50s, and she has terrible knee issues. So, and I have a toddler which is very active. And then we were at one side, like the Mataji's side, and I was getting the chair and like putting it over there. They were sitting, and then we had to go out and have prasad. So the place from where I get the chairs are kind of heavy because they have metal, and then it is stocked up somewhere, and then I have to lift it from the height. So it is heavy, and I took two chairs out. I let my mother and the granny and my daughter stand at one place, and I brought the two chairs for them. And my Prabhu, because he was at the Prabhu, like men's side, he went in the lineup. I told him he was with some new person preaching about Krishna consciousness, and I then went in the lineup, and then I got two plates, and my husband was not able to get the other plate, so he got one plate. And there were the two chairs which I kept for my mother, and brought back the plate of prasad, food, and then I sat down, and I had to feed my toddler, and I was sitting and feeding her and eating. So I gave the granny the plate, and my mother didn't have the plate. So my mother said, "Okay, I will just put the diaper bag, like we have a bag of a full bag of things for my toddler girl." So we kept it there, and she said, "I'll go and grab my plate." So now a lady, she comes. Now she comes, and usually she comes, and then I'll just tell you what happened. So she comes, and she right away, because I was feeding my daughter, she right away puts the bag down, and she picks up the chair, and she says someone needs it for a minute, and she just takes it and go. Now the granny, who is like way older, she says that um, this she didn't even ask. First thing was that she didn't even ask that Hare Krishna, excuse me, can I please take the chair? She did not ask. So then the granny said that how come she said it so 1 minute, and then she just kept it there, and that the chair was just there, and my mother was in the lineup. The granny was complaining, and I was just quiet, and I was just trying to not judge, and I was just trying to wait to see what happens after 1 minute. And there was a small basket which was kept on that. So I'll tell you what the basket was, and I will say the other things. So then my mother was looking at me that where did her chair go, and then I was just kind of trying to communicate with her, and she was in the lineup, and then I went to the lady's place where she was, but the lady was not there. Her little daughter was there, and I said that my mother was actually sitting on this chair. Can I please, once it's done, she comes back, can you please give me the chair back? And she said, sure, sure. She was a little teen, so she said, sure, sure. So then I sat back, and I was feeding my daughter, and then my mother came, and the chair was not there, and I said, Mommy, get the chair, because I am. And then my mother said that on that basket they kept Gopal. So as soon as I came to know that they kept Gopal, so I was just like, okay, fine, no problem. We have to go, and I'll just go and get the chair. But thought about this. What if I was at that person's place? Would I have done the same thing? So of course, there are so many chairs in the cloakroom. There's so many chairs. You could just go if you want to do something for Gopal. You got your small deity. You want to take care of them. So there is this rule of Ishavasya Mitam Sarvam. When we try to take something which has been assigned for others, so we try to take that thing and just not even personally be personal and say that, okay, this is something I needed to do, instead of just going on and just grabbing on someone's stuff and just putting it there, not coming back, not saying sorry, not saying oh, I should have just got it myself, oh, I took it because I wanted it for Gopal. Nothing, because I was also in a situation where the chairs were really heavy, and also my mother brought a plate of prasad, and she's in that situation that she can't sit on the floor. So I just thought about that if I was in that situation, would I have done the same thing? It gave me a learning that how I shouldn't ever be like that. Never grab onto someone's things, and then after that act, and then never come back. I would never even say that, oh, I took it for this, or let me just get another chair for your mother. So this thing seems to be so small. It's like, oh, what, why to, like, think about this thing. The issue is not about that the chair went where they kept the basket of Gopal. Of course, I see it in that manner. Gopal wanted it. But I also see it, the karma of that individual, like how they are acting, how they are interacting with, because we are dealing with devotees here, right? We are dealing with one another. So we have to be really conscious about understanding the situation, how that other person would have managed that thing, or how that other person would have acted in that manner. So these small things actually builds up our attitudes, our personalities, and also shows how an individual thinks that they have this right of entitlement to do whatever, and it can be justified just in the name of Krishna. Now this incident which I shared with you is very small, but there are many big things which happen, and in the name of justifying that it is for Krishna, we do such big offenses. And so many big things have happened. Like I have gone through a lot of experiences like that. These are just some of the experiences, like this is just one experience which I am sharing with you. So from this the experience, I understood that how one has to be really conscious about, if someone gets, you're dancing in a queue, and if someone gets hit by you, or like, it's natural, it just happens, it's normal, but did you turn back and say sorry? Because Paramatma resides in them too. Did you just did like this? Paramatma resides in them. Did you say sorry? And if you're not conscious, okay, fine. But how many times can you do that? And if you have the courage, if you have the sincerity to apologize to that person that I did wrong, and even if you did wrong, at least that will make little difference in that person's heart, that at least this person recognized it. That is the most important thing. I think when we practice bhakti yoga, this softness of heart, this conscious, this personalism should be inside of us. Otherwise, it's like a philosophy which makes our heart dry. It's not about just respecting some senior people and the senior mistreating the junior. No, it's not like that at all. It has to be mutual. Sometimes some people would give examples that, oh, he's a senior, he can do whatever, and we should just tolerate. No, it is not like that. you know um, Younger people, even in a household, you'll see the children, they look at the elders and they know how, then they learn how to behave, they learn how to treat others. Similarly, if we see some senior devotees, and if they are mistreating, if they are having so much puffed up attitude, if they are having this kind of attitude that, I can do, or someone coming from like new and then just getting into things and then becoming puffed up, and they are thinking that they have the right to actually treat others like crap, pardon my language, but yes, that's true, then that's not going to work in front of Krishna. And Krishna is so amazing that he cannot tolerate those things. And how he knows his ways to humble that individual or that particular scenario or everything. And if we are sincere, we will always find our, I mean, everyone comes with their karmic baggage. I have come with my karmic baggage, others have come with their karmic baggage. But if we are sincere, if we really from our heart never thought about intentionally hurting anyone, no sarcasm or anything, then Krishna will always find means for us to preach Krishna consciousness, to give Krishna consciousness to others, to make someone feel that yes, you also belong to that spiritual world. You also are connected. Not that, oh, I have been serving the mandir or this thing for a long time, that's why I have the right for this thing. No, it's not like that. So that was one experience which I experienced from an individual, which was really little sad, but I'm fine with it because I always try to now see what's the learning behind it. But now I will share with you the experience which the incidents which I did and how I responded to that situation. Um, One more thing I wanted to say is that most of the times when I go through such situations, I sometimes feel that, why don't I speak up? And it's something in me which I have where I do not like to speak up, which like I cannot just be right away rude to anyone whom I actually do not know intimately. I mean, there is all understanding of, being, having friends and being friends with people and sharing their intimacy, that's a different thing. But with whom I'm not intimately connected, or like not have that friendship closeness or something like that, then it's not going to be like, I can't be rude. So but then I sometimes think that how some other individuals can be very rude. So that's some kind of things which kind of bothers me. But I also think that um that's just how it kind of gets better for me. But yeah, I do have my situations where I blow up too, and that is just normal for me, and I forgive myself for that. I do not beat myself on that. Before, I used to beat myself a lot for it, but I do not do that anymore, because I think that sometimes those human tendencies where you get so much flack, like just get so much bombarded, then one time you have to lay down the boundaries, where you have to be very vocal and have to express that this is not it. But most of the times, I'm just like, regular, never like kind of speak up in that manner. Now, the experience which I did, the incidents which I did, and then I apologize, I will share with you. um, so there was once, I think it was Prabhupada's disappearance day. There was a kind of event in the temple, and my husband was asked by one of the devotees to speak up about about his realizations, because my Prabhu has been for a long time in the movement, and he spoke about his connection with Prabhupada and everything, and it was really good. So we went out, and there's a nice couple, devotee couple with two kids. So the husband comes to my Prabhu, and then he said that it was really very nice. Very nicely you spoke, and it really touched our heart and all. So they have like two children, and one of the girl, like among the younger one said that to my she was talking to my husband about how, like, very like a baby talk, that her sister is coming and all that stuff. So when I saw the wife of the Prabhu, I actually saw, and I thought that she's pregnant, because I saw it like that. I kind of felt that she was pregnant, because, and then the girl was also talking, her daughter was also talking about her sister. So I just said that, oh, you are you pregnant, like, like, are you pregnant, like, congratulations, like, like that. And she said, no, I'm not. And I don't know why I said that, but I said that, oh, I thought because your stomach looked like that, so I thought that might be you're pregnant. Kind of know that person, but I'm not like that much close or anything. I'm not close to that person. So, anyways, I said that, I think, and she said no. After having my like second child, it just became like that. I was so much. I felt so bad inside. Like, I was just like, did I say something which would have hurt this person? Like, did I say something really wrong? What? And right away I started thinking, if what if I was at their place, what I would have felt, because it's something women are sensitive about, when even men are sensitive when you talk about their body or something like that. So I said sorry at that time, but at the same time, oh, I said sorry in a way that, okay, I didn't know, like that. But then when I came home, I thought about it, and I was like, I think I really need to apologize. Now, here, I it's a normal human tendency that I kind of saw, and I thought that might be she's pregnant, because the daughter also talked about having a sister, but the thing is, the sister was some cousin sister coming. So, anyways, I wrote to that devotee woman, that because I had her number, I said that I'm extremely sorry. I apologize for what I said, because it was in kind of an open space, even though no one heard, but whatever. It was in front of my husband, and it was in front of her husband. So I thought it was kind of embarrassing, and I just expressed to her that I'm really sorry. I had no intention, because many times people talk out of sarcasm, and it can be misunderstood in any way. So I said that I had no intention, and I apologized. I asked for forgiveness. So she said, oh, she didn't even bother about it, which is very nice if she did not bother. But why to even take chance? So I didn't want to take that chance, and I right away apologized. So this was actually my way of kind of being conscious, because of course there are many people who are extremely sensitive, where, like, you will say anything and they'll feel bad about everything. But there are some things where you feel that, oh, you might have said something which may be not really sounding good later if you were at that place. So I always think that that is an opportunity to actually interact with individuals like that, and ask for forgiveness, ask apologize if there is something which might have hurt them you know so these are the two examples about kind of how we can be conscious in our. It's not always about, like, oh, sorry, like this, not like that, but I'm just saying that how we can have our conversations clear, and from our own side, don't have that guilt if we have said or done something which we feel may not have been good if we were at their place. So yeah, this is what I really wanted to share. And there's so many things actually I can share, but that can go in the other topic. But please let me know, and I hope that you will hear this to the end. It is actually philosophy, but it is actually philosophy in practice, because we read Chaitanya Charitamrita, when we read Leela Amrit, Prabhupada Leela Amrit, there's so many dealings with devotees and everything, all these talks we have. But how we talk, how we interact, there is okay, it's okay to say no, but at the same time how we say no, it's okay to set boundaries, it's okay to forgive, and at the same time not want to do anything with certain individuals who have caused us harm. But at the same time, know that when you stand in front of Krishna and you say that, Krishna, I I I was I did my best. I tried my best and I did what I could. And in my heart, I don't want to cause harm to that person. Then that's what, because in the end it's all about our sincerity for Krishna, in front of Krishna, and he will actually, he knows what we will be doing. He knows what's in our heart, and ever if in our heart we are thinking about harming other individuals in a subtle way, then it's going to get back to us, and it will get back to us. So, anyways, that's it for today, and I'll come up with more topics. Please let me know in the comment section if there is any more topics we want to talk about or discuss. I will actually come up with more topics, which happens so much in our lives, and I, because I write down my realizations as well, so which helps. So thank you so much for watching. And if you've watched until the end, and if you're new to this channel, then please connect with it by subscribing to it so that you can get more such heart to heart conversations, topics, and also some pastimes will come in, and some philosophy, and everything will come in. So, thank you so much. Hare Krishna.